Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. This is Christian. I'm a software developer living and working in London, and today I wanted to talk about my hybrid ecosystem. Over the years, I've heard a lot of people saying that they are trapped on the Apple ecosystem. So that means that some people feel that they cannot move away from the iPhone or from a MacBook, iPads, etc. because everything talks very well to each other. So here I'm going to explain basically my productivity system when I'm using a Mac and an Android phone. So I'm going to show you how. So now, I wanted to clarify that the foundation of my hybrid ecosystem is based on Google services. So I use Gmail, Google Drive, Google Photos, etc. But that doesn't mean that I use Google apps, especially on my phone. I will touch on 3 topics. The first one being productivity, the second one will be file management, and the third one will be notes taking. Okay, let's start with productivity. But first, let me grab a coffee. When I talk about productivity, I mean managing my emails, my to-dos, and also arranging my calendar. So as I said before, the foundation of the services that I use is based on Google. So I use Gmail, Google Calendar, and Google Drive through the browser when I'm using my Mac. This works for me. I know that I could, for example, set up my Gmail account on Apple Mail, or I could download another email client. I prefer not to. I'm happy to do it through the browser, and same as Google Drive. So I use the browser rather than installing Google Drive and just dragging and dropping files through the Finder. This works for me. It doesn't mean that it will work for everyone, but just find what best suits you. On mobile though, I use Gmail through the Gmail app, so I actually manage my emails through what you would expect. However, I don't manage my calendar through the Google Calendar app. Instead, I use the Samsung Calendar, and the reason is that because I prefer the interface. I think it works better, and I like it, just like how the UI reacts on the phone. I can partially fold my phone, it reacts to it. You can add stickers, which is fun, and in general, just works for me. I think Google Calendar app for Android is good, and it works really well, but I just prefer the Samsung one. Also, the widgets, I think they look nicer. In terms of to-dos, I use Todoist. This is an app that I discovered like around 2-3 months ago, and I think since the first day, I became a huge fan of Todoist. I have installed the client on my Mac and also on my Android phone. And what I like the most is how easy it is to add and just tick off all the tasks from Todoist. I like that also I can add tasks in any time when I'm using my Mac. I use a command for that, and it's just very easy and convenient, especially to schedule tasks, because you can use natural language, like say, I don't know, buy milk today at 4, and that today at 4, it will be recognized by the app. It's also very well integrated with Google. I haven't tried with other services, but with this integration, I can see also all my to-do tasks on my Google Calendar through the browser or through Samsung Calendar, and it will work as well through the Google Calendar app on your iPhone or Android phone. In terms of Gmail, something that I really like is using labels. I pretty much add labels to all the emails that I have. And something that I like doing as well is removing the inbox label. So the inbox label makes your emails appear on your inbox. No surprise. But there are some emails that I will need in the very long run. Like for example, if I book some holidays that will happen in 5-6 months, I don't need that email on my inbox. So I remove that label, so it disappears, but still is under the folder or label with that holiday period in mind. I don't like having many emails in the inbox. I like to basically not scroll. As per Google Calendar, oh my god, I kid you not, I have everything there. I'm someone with a very, very bad memory. So I need to add everything on my calendar. Appointments, work stuff, birthdays, important days, holidays. Doesn't matter. Everything goes to my calendar. And same is for my reminders, to-dos. I use Todoist for that, and I'm constantly adding little stuff on Todoist. I also use different calendars, basically to have the different colors on my calendar. I'm a very visual person, so it's easier for me to identify the categories of the event on my calendar. Those calendars are split like work, projects, important things that I need to do, appointments, so it's easier to manage. Fun enough, I don't really personalize Todoist. I just use their inbox on Todoist. And I like to see only the tasks that I have to do today, not to get too stressed with what I will have to do in the future. I don't like that. I just constantly use the today view and I just don't think about the future. Another fantastic feature about Todoist is that regardless what I'm doing on my Mac, I just can hit Option space and then I can add a task. Regardless of the screen time, if I'm browsing, I'm just like reading an email, I'm checking a website, Option space, add a reminder. It's really convenient. Great. Let's talk about file management. When I say file management, I actually mean spreadsheet documents, PowerPoint presentations, photos, videos, all that you can imagine. So I normally store all those documents on Google Drive. This automatically backup works for me. I don't need anything else. However, it's true that I store video in hard drives. Just because I prefer to have it like on a physical format, the transfer rate is better than on an internet connection. And I think it's safer in general. So all this is synchronized through Google Drive, and I have all my documents available on my phone and on my Mac through the browser. I normally don't really work on documents like spreadsheets or presentations because of the work that I have. I basically just code. And if I have to do some like write some documentation, etc., I use my work laptop for that, and we have company provided tools for that. So it's like a total different life. Speaking of Google Drive, I paid for extra storage, so I have plenty of room to store documents there. A peace of mind. Fantastic. Let's talk about notes taking. So this is probably one of the messiest, most complicated topics that I will talk about today. Basically because I use 3 main apps or services to take notes. I know, that's messed up. So the services that I use are Notion. I'm not a big fan of Notion. I think it's too complicated for what it is. I use also Google Keep and Samsung Notes. Let me explain. So Notion, I use it mainly on my laptop. And this is where I do all the work related to the YouTube channel, is where I plan the videos, write some scripts, I store some inspiration stuff. And although I also have the app installed on my phone, basically on the phone is to retouch tiny things and to check the information that I worked on my Mac. Anyways, it's easier to work on big Notion pages from the laptop, regardless of the platform that you're using now on the phone. Google Keep, I use it as a note taking for something that is very quick and very short. Think of notes that are post-its. So I always use it like for shopping list or like a random number that I need to write down because I will use very quickly. Speaking of quickly, actually, I keep on Google Keep notes that will live for a very short period of time. And it works for me. It's something that I can add, remove from laptop, from the phone, and it's constantly changing. All those notes come and go fast. Now, Samsung Notes, I really, really like the app. So think of Samsung Notes as a Microsoft OneNote. It's a very, very powerful app. I like that it's integrating with the Galaxy AI to summarize stuff, to reformat the notes, edit PDF files. It's really, really powerful. The only problem that I have with Samsung Notes is that there's not a compatible client on macOS. So I keep Samsung Notes for notes that live for a longer period of time than Google Keep, and those notes have different formats within. So I can personalize the text, add images, do drawings, etc. I tried the synchronization through OneNote before. I don't like it, but I don't like OneNote either. I think it's like messy. All these notebooks, synchronization issues is horrible. Really, Microsoft should check that. And lastly, I use a regular notebook. If you remember, I spoke about my top 3 picks from November. I introduced the Penco B6 general notebook, and I always carry it with me. I also like handwriting some notes, and I think all this analog system also works very well. Well, that was all for my hybrid ecosystem on how I manage my life and try not to forget anything. And I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please do like the video and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. So please do. See you in the next video. Bye.